Hello everyone, welcome to BYJU'S exam prep and I am Vipin Kumar. Now in this session we are going to discuss a very important topic or doubt or questions that a lot of students keep asking. And now very soon you guys are going to go for any PSU exams, and after your PSU exams you will have a final selection personal interview round. And apart from your technical questions, by technical questions you will be answering based upon your technical knowledge. But apart from that, we as engineers or you in your colleges or universities lack a very useful skill, that is communication skill. Okay, and that is one of the reasons that a lot of students find it very hard to answer general questions. So in technical questions you will be able to answer based upon your technical knowledge, and a lot of students who go to that technical round, they are very sound, they have a very sound technical understanding, but they still lack in answering basic general questions. So in this particular session we are going to discuss some very common questions that in each and every interview they are going to ask you. Okay, and in this particular session we are going to discuss 3 questions that each and every interviewer asks you for any PSU selection. Okay, so let's start with the very first question, and that is the first question that they ask yourself in any interview, in any PSU, in any basically in any exam. Okay, and this is the very first question. When you go and enter into the room, they will ask you to give a brief introduction about yourself. So in short we can say they ask, tell me about yourself. Okay, now how do you answer that? Now a lot of students confuse this question and start answering, they start telling their whole life story, and that is the biggest mistake. This introduction should be short and to the point. That means it should connect you with your job. Now this job could be different, this job could be in any industry. Okay, if you are interviewing for a technical officer, if you are interviewing for ISRO, BARC or any other, even for private interviews, private company interviews. So this question should connect you as a personality to the job that you are going to do. So never go for a long interview, long answer of this question. I mean, do not start from your schooling, your childhood or something. They are not interested in that. They are not interested in how many family members are there in your family. What does your mother do? What does your father do? They are not very interested in that. They are interested in you and how do you connect with the job. So I am going to give you some tips to answer this question. And the very first thing, start with a very brief introduction. So you should start with your name, which of course they know already. They have all the information that you filled in your forms, but still you need to start with your name and your current role, what you are doing right now. Are you studying? Are you in preparation? Or whatever you are doing, what you are doing currently, that you should start with. So start with a very brief introduction about yourself, your name and what you are doing currently. And then you have to give a little bit of idea about your professional background. If you have done something before what you are doing today, then you can give a brief introduction about that. So you need to tell that how your previous, again, for example, there are people who have done 10 years of experience, some 5 years of experience. You do not have to tell each and every job description that you have done. You only have to focus on the skills that you have gained in your past experience, and that can connect you with your current interviewer, current company. So in whatever company you are applying or you are going to work now, how does your previous experience connect with that? You only have to include those job description from your past experience. And the next one is, then you can go to your education. And that too, do not always go from your nursery, KG, schooling and all. It's better you start with your, first of all, you have to go from the top. So whatever you have done recently, you have to start with that. If you have done your masters, if you have done your bachelors, then you can, and a very brief information about your school, very brief. Your college, your projects, what you have done, your coursework that you have done, any certificates and extracurricular activities that you have done, any extra courses, any extra software that you have learned. You have to focus on that. Do not go for schooling and all. In your college, what you have done, what was your interest, what projects you have done, what coursework you have done, and again, you do not have to tell all the coursework. Relevant coursework that connects your degree with the job that you are going to do. Only mention those coursework. Okay, so then you can mention your education. And next is highlight relevant skills and achievement. As I told you, you have to mention what extra courses, extracurricular activities you have done, and how your extra courses or your coursework is going to connect you with your job, how you are going to create value in your next job, how you are above or you are one step ahead with the other candidates. So what extra you have done, you can tell them. And next, you can express your career goal, that if you are entering into a new career, then how do you see yourself in next 5 years or 10 years? What do you want to achieve? If you are entering into a job, you must want to achieve something, right? So what are your career goals? How do you see yourself in that company? What knowledge or what skills you want to gain from that current role? That you can express. And finally, you have to wrap it up with a quick summary what you have done. Okay, whatever you have told in these 2 minutes, you have to summarize that and end. A lot of people I have seen, when they start answering this question, they have an abrupt stop. That means they are saying something and at once they stop. No, at the end you have to end it gradually. You have to summarize everything what you have done, what you have said in last 2 minutes. You have to summarize it in 30 seconds, and then you have to finish this answer. So I hope that these 6 steps is going to help you answer this question very clearly. So start with your name, start with your current engagement, what you are doing. Are you studying? Are you working? Then what you are doing in your current job, how your professional experience connects you with your next job. Then go to your education, tell them your coursework, your relevant skills, your softwares, your extracurricular activities, and how they are connected with, how they are going to help you in your next job. And finally, wrap it up. Okay, so keep in mind these 6 points when you have to answer this question. And quick tips about this, that first of all, keep it concise. Never go more than 2.5 or 2.5 minutes. Never go above this. Also, as I am telling you, whatever you are telling your education, you are telling your coursework, you are telling your softwares, you are telling your professional experience, whatever you are saying, it should be relevant, because he is not interested in what you have done. He is interested in whatever you have done, how is it going to help you in your next role at the company. So always tell the relevant information. And it is also a good idea that you practice, you rehearse before the actual interview. You rehearse it, so that you need to find a flow of your answer. And of course, when you are telling about yourself, maintain that professionalism. Do not go overboard. Do not share too much personal information about yourself. They are not interested in your family. They are not interested in what your, how were you as a childhood, where did you grow. I mean, okay, you can tell where did you grow up, but they are not very interested in your personal life. They are interested in those personal facts that is going to connect with your job. They want to know you as a person, but how that personality is going to help you in your job. Okay, so make it concise, relevance. Only relevant information you need to pass on. Practice before you answer, and then maintain professionalism while answering this question. This is the very first question in every interviewer. Whatever interview you go, they are going to ask this question. It does not matter, it is PSU, whatever interview it is, they ask this question. Very common, very much asked question. Okay, now next question is, they will ask you, what are your strengths? So how do you answer this question? Are they asking you how many push-ups do you do, how much weight do you lift in gym? No, they ask that what are the things that you have achieved in your career that shows your strength. They want to understand your personality, that how whenever you were at the downside or you were facing a challenge, how did you overcome that? What strength, what skills do you bring on the table when you go for your next role? So very carefully you have to answer this, very carefully. You do not want to exaggerate things. You do not want to say, too obvious things. Okay. So how do you answer? I'll give you some quick tips. So first thing, you have to, for example, if you are going for a particular role, then you need to know what is the job description. What do they want? For example, if you are applying for an oil company, then you need to have some information about the oil. You have to do your homework first. So this strength comes out from looking at the job description and how do you align your personality with the job description. Okay, so out of those job description, you can find any one word and you can build it your strength around that. Okay, the next is just saying that you have this strength does not cut. You have to give an example. You have to give some examples with the fact. Okay, and I would just now I have made a short also that you need to answer these questions based upon a STAR method: situation, task, action, and result. What was the situation you were facing? What was the task? Then what actions you took? And then what was the result that you get? So always answer this question with an example. Give them the proper example. Okay. So please, you have to support your claim with an example. It is very important. In fact, it is more important than just saying. Whatever you are saying does not cut anything. You have to give an example, proper example of whatever strength you have done. And then you have to connect it to the job. I told you already. Whatever strength is there, how does that strength is going to help you in that next job? I am telling you, whatever you are saying, each and every word must connect you with the job. So you have to connect that with the job. And finally, you have to keep it positive and professional. Do not say, if you I don't know, but if you answer something that is not comes out in a positive way, so it is not good. Basically, you have to keep it positive. You have to show that strength in a positive way. Okay. So if you got the results, how did you got the results? I mean, you did not get, I hope that you did not get the results by torturing your colleagues, right? If you worked with them, how did you help them? How did you help each and every one of your team, team member bring out the best in them? That is strength. Okay. So it should be positive and it should be professional. Okay. Now I can give you some examples as well. For example, leadership skill. So if you are saying that you have leadership skill, then you need to mention it. Where do you think? By if you are saying that you have leadership skill, what team did you lead? How many people were there in your team? And when you led that team, how did you I just forgot a word. How did you help the company? What did the company got from that skill basically? So you improved the output, or you were able to perform better, or you increased the sales, whatever you have done. But what did the company got out of your skill? That you need to tell. What was the result after that? Okay. So you have to tell which company, what was your team, how many members, what did you achieve, and how much you achieve. That you need to answer whenever you say you have leadership skills. For example, adaptability, if you are saying. So what were the challenges that you were facing? Once, for example, you changed the company and there were some challenges that you were facing. I don't know, health wise, mentally, or any other challenges. And then what did you do to adapt to that change? How did you overcome that change? And then once you overcome that challenge or that change, did it enhance your productivity or did it degraded your productivity. So how did that change? Okay, ठीक है, you adapted, but did you improve or did you went downhill? So when you took the change, then how did you adapt that, and what changes it brought to your performance, that you need to tell them. Okay, and of course you have to answer positively. Okay, never say that because of that change something got decreased or so you went downhill or your results got degraded. Never say that. Okay, next is strong communication skills. Now communication skills comes into play. It's not just talking to people, it's when you want to express something, how good you are able to express. For example, you know something, but how well or how proper, in a proper way, how do you transfer that information to other people? So how do you communicate? For example, you want some work to be done and you are telling someone something else, but he's understanding something else, and at the end of the day the work is not done because it was not communicated properly. So how do you communicate them? What do you use to communicate your your information? It can be basically your results. For example, you were working on a project and then you got something out and your company sends you to to present those results. But if you're not focusing on what the other people, for example, if you are expressing, if you're trying to explain something to someone, your explanation should depend upon what kind of person is there in front of you. For example, if there is a technical expert, you can explain him in a very in a technical way. But if there is someone who is very layman, who is very new, who is like a normal person, then you have to explain it in a certain language. So how do you communicate? And what achievements you have basically, like for example, once you communicated something, what were the results? Were you able to communicate properly or not? And how did you collaborate with other teams? Because you have to communicate things when you are working with other teams. So how well you are in this skill, you can also mention, or you can say attention to details as well. Okay, so of course you have to basically support your claim with an example, of course. Next, one more question sometimes they ask is, what are your weaknesses? And I have seen people saying, sir, I have no weakness. That is not the right result. No one is perfect. We all have weaknesses. So first of all, if you are saying I have no weakness, that means you are not self-aware. Okay, you do not know your weaknesses, and that gives a very wrong impression, because you think you are perfect. You think that there is no scope for improvement, and that does not go well with the interviewer. You have to be self-aware. You need to come up with a genuine weakness, but always remember one thing: whatever your weakness is, it should not affect the job. It should not affect the job. In any way, it should not affect the job. So just choose we all have weaknesses. Choose a genuine weakness, and it shows that you are self-aware. It shows that you are self-aware. And then you have to explain when did you become aware of this? What was the situation that you were facing and you realized that this is your weakness? Maybe you were not able to communicate properly what you want from some other person, and then you have to also answer, what did you do once you realized what was your weakness? What did you do to improve it? Because that is very important. Once you know what is your weakness, what are you doing to improve it? So you have to answer that what you have done to improve, what you are doing now to improve it, and did you improve it? And if you improve it, what are the examples? What are the examples? Okay, so, and of course always frame it positively. Frame it positively. Okay, that you have learned, you have improved, you have grown because of that weakness. Okay, so I hope that you are able to understand this. Some quick tips: that be honest and authentic. Of course, we all have weaknesses, so do not be too proud about that. Okay, do not be overconfident about that. Just tell them some weakness, whatever you have seen, whatever problem you have faced, but always frame it positively. Tell them that you are self-aware. Tell them that you are working on it. And again, connect that to the job. Connect that to the job. Of course, never tell any weakness that is very critical to the job, that is going to basically negatively affect that job. And of course, end in with a positive note that this is what you are doing and you have improved so much in this particular weakness. This is how you can answer this question. So we have discussed 3 questions, very main questions. In each and every exam, in interview, they are going to ask these questions. Introduce yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And these questions, they are far away from your technical information, because technically you can answer things, but they need to understand after 10 years, will you be able to perform? How, I mean, if you will be made manager, how will you be performing? So do you have the vision for it? Do you even want to do that? So they ask you these type of questions to see what is your vision. Are you self-aware or not? So just frame some answers. I am saying, look, these are very fixed questions. So you should have very fixed answers for this. But these answers should vary based upon the company to company, your role to role. If you are applying for a particular role, your answer should 10 to 20% you should add or subtract something. You should not have a ready-made answer for all of these questions in each and every company. According to company, you need to modify 20-30% of this answer. Okay, chalo. So I hope this session is going to help you with these 3 very critical questions that in each and every interview they are going to ask. And we have very proud people here. We have some selections in ESC, a lot of selections basically, but these are some gems that we have gotten. Vineet is in civil engineering and Varun is in mechanical. So we are very proud of these students. So you can also congratulate these people. And we also hope that you guys will also be there very soon in the same ranking, in the same posters, in the same position, in the same role. Okay. So we are always there to help you, and you can ask any help that you want. And guys, we have again started. We are already planning for you GATE 2025 and 26 batches. GATE 2025 is already been started from November. It is started already. So just enroll as soon as possible. Why it is a perfect time? I have already made a video some 3-4 days back. You can go and watch on YouTube. Okay, so it is the perfect time to start your GATE preparation. Start your GATE 2025 journey with us. It is a very structured course. You will have live classes, you will have recorded lectures, study material, mock test, practice quizzes, daily practice quizzes you will have. There is no other way. All the components that is required for your exam preparation we have included in this. Okay, so do not delay. Start your journey as soon as possible. If you have not joined my Telegram channel, join the Telegram channel, because this is the only way we can connect. If you have any doubt, you can connect with me. It is Mechanical by Vipin Yadav, or you can scan the QR code that is there on the slide. Okay, chalo, very well. So let's stop here, guys. I hope that this session helped you in every way possible. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can connect with me through Telegram. You can ask whatever your doubts are. Okay, chalo. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye.